Hello, and welcome to the second of 3 short introductory films about Twitter. As I explained in part 1, these films have been created around the character of Miss Jean Brodie, who is making her first tentative steps into the world of social media. By following her journey, I hope to encourage more teachers and students to get involved in a global network of ideas that is Twitter at its best. In this film, Miss Brodie discovers TweetDeck, a lovely piece of desktop software that allows her to introduce herself and to begin to create her own personal learning network. Hopefully, after following this part of her journey, you'll begin to feel ready to follow Miss Brodie into the Twitter sphere. As we saw at the end of part 1, Miss Brodie has now signed up to Twitter and created an excellent self-descriptive profile. She now wants to know how to begin her conversation on Twitter. Now, you can begin that conversation on the Twitter website itself, but in fact there are a number of applications that make interacting with Twitter a bit more fun, and the one I would go for is TweetDeck. So you search for TweetDeck in Google and you click on that and you'll be taken to this page here. Now from here you're going to choose the desktop version of TweetDeck, so that's going to download onto your desktop. Once you've clicked desktop, you'll be taken to this page and we're going to download TweetDeck. Downloading. And then we'll be taken to this screen here. Would you like to open or save the file? So we'll just open it. So that's it, opening. Are you sure you want to install? Yes, install. Then we're asked a number of questions. Add a shortcut to your desktop and start application after installation. So that's fine, continue. And this is what TweetDeck looks like when it's open. Now, obviously I already have TweetDeck on my laptop, so you will not see this exactly when you first download TweetDeck. But what you want to do is to add your Twitter account. So you will be led, it'll be quite obvious what you have to do, but you basically want to add your Twitter details. So you'd go Twitter username is Jean Brodie, and your Twitter password, and verify details. And this is roughly what TweetDeck will look like when you first log in. So very empty now, except for a tweet from me introducing Jean to Twitter. So Jean is going to send me a message, which means that everyone that follows me will see Jean's message, potentially. So Jean is writing, so David Miller, do you think your PLN would tell me who I should follow and what the benefits are of Twitter? To me. Okay, not very good syntax, but it was very late. Okay, so she's ready to hit the send button, which she has just done, and there her tweet appears in All Friends. So every tweet you send will appear in the All Friends column. And then we just sit back and wait for the tweets to fall in, and they did indeed. And a huge number of fellow tweeters responded to Jean's call and said hello and welcomed her and gave her good reasons. Now these will appear a bit later in the film, but just to give you a flavour of how her TweetDeck filled out as the evening went on. Now before we go any further, I think it might be useful to have a bit of navigation around TweetDeck, so we're going to take each of these buttons in turn. So the Compose Update button allows you to enter your tweets up to the 140 characters that you see there, and then once you're happy with your tweet you just hit the send button and your tweet will appear in the All Friends column. So we'll close that. The next button along the little plus sign, Add Column. Now I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail, so we're just going to ignore that for the moment. Quick Profile allows you to do a quick search on somebody that you know on Twitter. So for example, if we just search for Dave Terran, who was one of the people that responded to Jean's call, find profile, and there is his profile appears on the right hand side of TweetDeck. So we'll just close that for the moment. Then over to the right hand side we can refresh our columns by hitting the refresh button. You can go for the single column view, so if we just click that we're just reduced down to the All Friends, so that's just an option that you've got to play with. Now the next button is probably the most important, Settings. So just click on that and let's have a look around the settings. Okay, so this is your settings menu, and this is where you can do a number of things. Now I'll let you explore these at your leisure, but this one here is quite important for reasons that will become apparent. Use autocomplete for username. That should be ticked. Okay, and I'll show you why that should be ticked shortly. Now this setting appears in the General tab of your TweetDeck settings. If we have a look now at the Notifications tab, this is where you can turn on and off how tweets appear on your desktop. So the detail is on. It means that every time someone tweets, it will appear on your desktop either in the upper right, upper left, etc. If the detail is off, then you will only see tweets in TweetDeck. And you can also control sounds that accompany tweets. Okay, and finally, just a very quick look, the Accounts tab lets you see the details of your Twitter account. So we're just going to save the settings and continue. Now we're going to look at how to reply to a tweet. So if we take this first example from Christian Still in the mentions column, if we hover over Christian's avatar, we'll see 4 little buttons. Now that upper left one, reply to Christian Still, if we hit that, then we can key in a message, and if it's sent, then it will appear in the All Friends column, and it means that everyone who follows Christian and everyone who follows Jean will see the message. Now in fact, Jean is going to instead send a direct message to Christian. So the second button there, the little envelope, if she hits that, a D appears at the start of the message. So Jean is now going to key in a message that when she sends it, it will appear in the direct message column, and only she and Christian will be able to see it. So thanks so much, Christian. Good to meet you, and thanks for your encouragement. Jean now hits the send button, and it will appear in the direct message column. And there it is.